Welcome back, students. So we will start our next chapter, that is chapter 10, Motion and Measurement of Distance. Chapter 10, Motion and Measurement of Distance. So in the first portion, it's about the history of transport. It's about the history of transport. Long ago, people do not have any means of transport. They used to move only on foot and carry goods either on their back or using animals. For transport along water routes, boats were used from ancient times. To begin with, boats were simple logs of wood within which a hollow cavity could be made. Later, people learned to put together different pieces of wood and give shapes to the boat. These shapes imitated the shapes of animals living in water. Invention of wheel was made a great change in the mode of transport. The design of wheel was improved over thousands of years. Animals were used to pull vehicles that moved on wheels. Until the beginning of the 19th century, people still depend on animal power to transport them from one place to another. The invention of steam engine introduced a new source of power. Railroads were made for steam engine driven carriages and wagons. Later came automobiles. Motorized roads and ships were used as means of transport on water. Motorized boats, not roads, boats and ships were used as means of transport on water. So the development of aeroplanes. They were later improvement to carry passengers and goods. Electric trains, monorails, supersonic aeroplanes and spacecraft are some of the 20th century contributions. So that's about the history of transport. So transport is a mechanism by which a thing is carried from one place to another. In olden days, land transport was done with the help of animals or human backs, while water transport was done on a hollow wooden log or simple wooden ship. After the invention of wheel, bullock carts, camel carts were developed where animals are used to pull vehicles. Transport then evolved in 19th and 20th century to bus, trains, cars, airplane, jets, steam and motorboats, etc. Now, what are the different methods or different technique to measure distance, or how we will calculate how far have you travelled? How will you calculate how far you travelled or how wide an object is? All those things we need to measure. We need to measure. So, anything that can be measured, that is known as a physical quantity. Quantities like length, weight, time, temperature, speed, all those things we can measure. So, that is known as physical quantity. That is known as a physical quantity. So, in olden days, we use different methods for this measurement, but that measurement is not a uniform one. It may vary from person to person. It may vary from person to person. So, what we want to do is we need a unit of measurement which could be uniformly used by everyone. Such a unit is called a standard unit. Such a unit is called a standard unit. So, here we will discuss different methods that we used to measure length in ancient days. That is gillies and dandas, this one. With the help of gillies and danda is actually it's a game. With the help of this then we will be able to measure the length. Then handspan, this one handspan. With handspan also we can measure the length, foot length. This one also is used to measure the length. Width of the finger, cubit length, that is the length between arm and from the elbow to the fingertip. From the elbow to the fingertip, that is from here to here, that is cubit. That also used to measure length. Nowadays also we are measuring, we are using this cubit to measure something. Okay. So that you will find out. Okay. Which one is measured with the help of this cubit from here to here. Okay. We are using this measurement. Then yard is there. Yard means when you stretch a hand, from the tip of your finger to your chin. Yeah. That is 1 yard. Then metric scale is there, SI unit is there. So what's happened is that all these things are not constant. It may vary from person to person. It may vary from person to person. You can see a person, suppose you consider person A and person B. Person A is measuring the length from A to B. Person B also measuring from length from A to B. And person A is telling the length of this line is 4 feet. Length of that line is 4 feet. This B person will tell that the length of this line AB is 3 feet. Which one is correct? Both are correct, but variation is there. If we say 4 feet, the other one is saying 3 feet, then the measurement of the same distance varies based on the length of the individual foot. So, uniformity is not there. So, in order to make the measurement uniform, we have introduced a unit that is known as the SI unit. So, there was a need for the units of measurement which could be uniformly used by everyone. That is SI unit, or that is known as standard unit. Now, we will discuss what is measurement. Actually, measurement is a comparison of unknown quantity with some fixed known quantity. We are comparing. We don't know how much it is, but we are comparing it with a fixed quantity. So, that is measurement. Measurement is a comparison of unknown quantity with some fixed known quantity. That is measurement. Then you must have measured the length of a line segment using a scale. You may find that the length of the line segment is 10 centimeter. Now, here a measurement consists of 2 parts, that is a number part and the unit part. Means if you measure the length of a table, you got it as 16 centimeter. It's a small table. 16 centimeter. No need of table. Book. The length of your book, notebook, that is 16 centimeter. So, this was a measurement. Measurement, that is length of the notebook, length of the notebook. Okay. Now, here this measurement consists of two parts. That measurement consists of two parts, 16 centimeter. This one is the first part and this one is the second part. So, 16 means that is a number part. That is a number part and this one is the unit part. Unit part. In which unit we are measuring the length? Suppose your weight is 40 kilogram. That is a measurement. Our weight 40 kilogram. So, here also it consists of two parts. This 40, that is a number part, and kilogram, that is a unit part. 40 is a number part and kilogram is a unit part. So, each measurement consists of two parts, a number part and the name of the unit of the measurement. The number and the name of the unit of measurement. Here, in which unit we are measuring? We are measuring it in centimeters. Then here, in which unit we are measuring it? We are measuring it in kilogram. So, it's a measurement consists of two parts. It's a number part and the name of the unit of the measurement. The standard international system of units, that is SI unit, for length it is meter. SI units, that is worldwide accepted one. In every world, means in this world it is, we are following the SI unit because it's common to everyone. Okay. It's not subjected to individuals, it's common to everyone. It's worldwide accepted one. That is SI units. Standard international system of units. For length or distance, we will measure it in meter. We will measure it in meter. Unit is M. Mass, we will measure it in kilogram. Kilogram. Kg. Time, we will measure it in second. That is S. So, this is a basic SI unit. Okay, it's a basic SI unit. So, the basic SI unit for length, mass and time is given like this. Meter is a SI unit of length. It is represented by the letter M, small letter M. Kilogram is a SI unit of mass. It is represented by kg. Second is a SI unit of time. It is represented by S. The SI system is used uniformly all over the world for all scientific work. However, in everyday measurements, other systems are still in use such as FPS system, that is foot, pound, second system. Length is measured in foot, mass is measured in pound and time is measured in second. Then another system is there, that is CGS system, that is length is measured in centimeter, mass is measured in gram and time is measured in seconds. Then one more system is there, that is MKS system, that is length is measured in meter, mass is measured in kilogram and time is measured in second. Okay. This meter, its unit is represented by m. Kilogram, it's represented by kg. Then time is represented by second. So, what are the rules that is followed in writing the symbols of units? Symbols are not followed by a full stop. First thing, symbols are not followed by a full stop. Symbols are not written in plurals, means kilograms, kg, yes, we will not write. Okay. Suppose if you want to write 10 kg, we will write 10 kg, we will not write 10 kilograms. This one is wrong. In this way we will write. Okay. In this way we will write. So, symbols for units are usually written in small letters. They are written in singular form. The symbols are not followed by full stop unless it is at the end of a sentence. So, when you write symbols for the unit, length, mass, time, just keep all these things in your mind. Symbols for units are usually written in small letters. Symbols are written in singular form. Then symbols are not followed by a full stop unless it is at the end of a sentence. Unless it is at the end of a sentence. Now, here 1 meter is divided into 100 equal divisions called centimeter. That is 1 meter equal to how much centimeter? 1 meter, how much centimeter? 100 centimeter. 1 kilometer, how much meter? 1000 meter. All those conversion we need while doing problems. Some questions are there to do using this concept. Okay. 1 centimeter equal to 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter, and 1 centimeter is how much millimeter? 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter and 1 kilometer is 1000 meter. Now, in the next video, we will check how we will take measurements.